Hello everyone. Today I'd like to show you how I made this metal tag. Now it's a lot easier than it looks. What's required is a piece of cardstock which coordinates with your metal, some adhesive backed metal sheet, dimensionals, a snowflake die cut or cutout, some sort of image, glue or adhesive, an applicator, and some sponges, alcohol inks in whatever color you want. Now for this one I'm going to use blues. For my tag you noticed I did it in reds, so on the back I had red cardstock. You need scissors, you need a big shot or other die cutting machine and a tag die, and you need an embossing folder. Now mine, I believe it's called Northern Flurries, and it's from Sizzix, and an iron. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take something which is heat resistant. Now you can do this on an ironing board, but I have a heat resistant sheet. You're going to put down your piece of cardboard or cardstock, and your adhesive sheet has a smooth side and a side that looks kind of bumpy. Now I sort of learned how to do this by accident. I really didn't know I had bought these sheets but didn't know what to do with them. So what you're going to do is you're going to heat your iron to its highest dry setting, layer your cardstock and your adhesive sheet on your heat-proof surface, and then I covered mine with an old pillowcase. I didn't know if I could do it right on it, but I didn't want to chance it. And then all you have to do is iron. Now it takes a few minutes to do this, and every once in a while you have to check and make sure you're adhering. Looks pretty good except for this edge, and we'll do it again. Okay, that looks pretty good. The next step is you can either use scissors or a paper trimmer, and you're going to cut off a wide enough strip to make your tag. Now you can freehand a tag, you can use a die cut, however you want to do it. There we go. So now you have a silver sheet with blue on the back. Now I'm going to take my big shot and I'm going to cut my tag. If you do a lot of tags like I do, this Tim Holtz die is so valuable. Make your sandwich and run it through. And there you have your tag. Now that you've got your tag cut, what you're going to do is you're going to place your embossing folder over your tag. Now I want you to be very careful because your embossing folder is shorter than this tag. So I want you to have it so that it looks like the snowflakes are falling off the page. Make your sandwich and run it through. Okay, now you have a silver tag with beautiful snowflakes embossed on it. You're finished with the big shot now, so you can move it out of your road. Now that you have your tag all embossed, you're going to color it. This is where the alcohol inks come in. I want you to take your applicator and one of the foams, and I have two blues this time. We're going to see what the blue looks like. And we're going to squirt a few squirts on your applicator. I use Slate and Sailboat. Okay, now with using alcohol inks, you just have to make sure that each layer is dry before you put another one on. Now, as I was saying, you have to make sure that each layer is dry before you pounce another one on. Now, they dry very fast, so you don't have to worry about taking too much time. And you can get exactly what look you want. Okay, so we'll let that dry for just a second. Okay, and let's put another layer on. Okay, we'll let that dry for a second. Now, I don't know if you can see, but it's quite spotty. And that's actually a look that I like. Now, you're going to get a little bit messy doing this, but don't worry, it'll wash off. Oh, I love that look. I absolutely love it. It looks almost like a snowstorm. That is so cool. Now, I will say that the red seemed to go on a little bit more smoothly than the blue, but it could have been me. I could have done something different this time. Okay, while that's drying, you're going to have to change your applicator. Put another piece of felt on it. And then you're going to mix up your silver mixative. Now, on the red one I used gold, but on this blue one I thought I'd like to see what silver looks like. So mix it up pretty good. Now, if you want to check, that's all dry. Once it's mixed, you're going to add a few drops of the silver. You don't have to use very much, and you can always add more. And what we're going to do is we're going to lightly, ever so lightly, go over the raised areas. And you'll probably have to find you have to add a little bit more. The silver goes a long way when you mix it with the colors. But on its own, I found that it doesn't go as far. Now, you can pounce some, you can swirl some. What you're trying to do is get some silver snowflakes. Like I said, don't pounce too hard. You don't want too much of that blue behind silver. This is really fun to do. But I find anything different is fun. Okay, that's pretty good. We have most of our snowflake area silver and not too much of the area around it, but it won't really hurt. Now, while we have our mixative out, we're going to take the die cut of the snowflake that we cut. Now, we cut that out of glossy cardstock, just because alcohol inks work best on the glossy. And what you're going to do is you're going to pounce more silver on your snowflake. We're really making a silver snowflake. And you'll find the silver really covers the glossy cardstock quite quickly. That's looking pretty good after only one coat. Now I have one more thing that I'm going to color silver. I have these very pretty gold snowflake brads, but I need silver for this project, and since alcohol ink covers any metal, there you go. Now I have a silver snowflake, which is what I want. Okay. Now all we have to do pretty much is assemble this tag. Now this should be cleaned off, but since I left my cleaner in the other room, and since it's dry, it's not going to get on the back of the tag anyway. We're almost finished. Now I want you to take your silver snowflake and use a few dimensionals and stick it onto your tag. Be careful that where you're putting the dimensionals is still going to be on the tag, because I cut this big enough so that it hangs over. Now you can touch up any of the snowflake if you need to. Okay, so take the back off your dimensionals. And we're going to stick it down wherever you would like. I kind of like this one up higher. Okay. Take your image that you want to use on this tag and take your 1 3/4 inch punch, decide where you want this cut, and cut it out. Now the other thing that I found that I liked was I took my little bit of silver mix-it-if and I went round the edge, just so you don't have a white edge showing, because glossy cardstock is pretty thick and you might notice that white edge. Okay. Now I just took regular adhesive because I didn't really want this image to stick out too much more. So throw some adhesive on it and stick your image in the center of your snowflake. All that's left to do now is attach your ribbon and you're finished. And what did I do with my, there's my scissors. You just have to cut a piece of ribbon that will match. I have some pretty blue ribbon. Thread it through the hole in your tag. And now this is where the brad came in. Rather than tie a knot in this one, I thought it was kind of pretty. I took the brad, stuck it through the hole, opened the back, and there you have it. All that's left to do is to trim the ribbon edges. And there you have it. A blue metallic tag, very similar to my red one. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you give this technique a try. Have a great day.